In 1975, Alice Cooper released his album Welcome to My Nightmare, and my friend Doc and I are going to talk about it on this episode of Records with Ray.
Back in action 3 weeks later, and not a damn thing's changed. Still drinking the same fucking Diet Coke.
Yeah.
I'm still wearing the same shirt.
It's like I'm creating some kind of an illusion that, like...
Got this obsession with, broads from the movies. 1950s, unobtainable women. Not
Is that
a lot
Brigitte
has changed.
Bardot?
Brigitte Bardot, French actress.
Brigitte
Brigitte Bardot.
So...
Speaking of rock bands with female names...
Alice
Cooper.
Alice Cooper. What's his real name?
Vincent Furnier.
Yeah, and I think the original idea is that, if I understand correctly, is that from the very beginning, Alice Cooper was supposed to be a character.
Alice Cooper was, a name they came up with when they were a band.
Like, it was the name of the band.
That's the name they came up with the band. I think the lore goes, at the time, they were the Spiders.
The Spiders.
No, he was in a band called the Earwigs, and then they were called the Nas, and I want to say they were called the Spiders.
Okay.
And this is because they went from, I want to say they went from Arizona to L.A. They tried to, stake their claim, and this is, you got to understand, this is Summer of Love, 2 years later. And that's all people are fucking listening to. And then you got Alice Cooper, which wasn't really like Alice Cooper yet, but they were starting. And they were just getting kicked out of one club after another. Nobody would stay for their shows. Nothing. They had no... They went through a long list of names, too, before they showed up with Alice Cooper.
Well, the question I'm asking is, so back then, did Alice Cooper, like... For the credits, was he Alice Cooper, or was he...
He was Alice Cooper.
He was, so he would come up...
But with the Spiders, I want to say it was...
he was still...
He was still Vincent Furnier.
So pretty much at the very beginning, he was
last
like, I am Alice Cooper.
But this is before they came up with their first album. Their first album was as Alice Cooper.
Because it was the Alice
Pretties for You? Was that the first one?
God, I don't even know. But it was like...
Basically, the lore goes... They were all drunk and high one night and started messing around with a Ouija board, and the name of a witch, Alice Cooper, came up. That's our name, and I'm Alice Cooper. But at that point, it was the band.
The Alice Cooper Band.
The Alice Cooper Band.
Well, so when he released... I like how you have a tape.
Yeah. I don't mess around, man. I'm old school, baby.
It's in shitty shape, too.
Kind of. Well, I listen to it a lot. Thing's been
On
banged
tape?
around cars.
Dude, I'll buy you the CD. So the interesting thing with this album is essentially this was Alice Cooper's first
solo album.
It's
the eighth. I want to say it's like the eighth studio album from Alice Cooper, but this is his first solo album. What that means is this was Alice Cooper going out on his own. He doesn't have Dennis Dunaway.
Why did that happen?
I want to say the band broke up. He went in a different direction. There's a lot of... I'm sure it's well documented on... There was a breakup. And...
The band broke up.
Yeah, because it was... I want to say, after they started experiencing success, it was about Alice Cooper. It was... The band wasn't Alice Cooper. It was the guy. He was Alice Cooper. And I think he just wanted to keep going, and he had this idea for this stage show. That was the thing.
They were already doing the stage show, though, right?
Not really.
No.
I want to say they did a couple of things. They were doing like experimentation. When they were a band, they were doing shit. They were creating things when they went out there. But it was literally like they would throw. That's when they like threw the chicken out. Thinking chickens could fly.
They weren't. So what you're saying is they didn't have the whole.
They had stage antics, but it wasn't like
the show.
Welcome to My Nightmare, which is a theater show. I want to say they had antics and they were wild and crazy, and they put on makeup. And they did wild and crazy stuff, but I don't want to... I want to say that they hadn't put together a show like Welcome to My Nightmare. Because Welcome to My Nightmare was a stage show.
Was it
was
really?
a full-blown production. There was dancers, props.
There was dancers?
There was dancers. One of the dancers became Alice Cooper's wife.
Wow.
No. Yeah. Before that, I want to say it was just rock band, crazy. You know, they'd probably bring fire extinguishers or Cheese Whiz on stage and, you know, do whatever. But once Welcome to My Nightmare came out, it was not only a production, the music was the story of this kid named Steven.
Is this a concept album?
It's a concept album.
It is the
yeah.
What is the concept?
I think it's about this young kid Steven who basically, how I kind of understand it, he kills somebody in his dream that he thinks is a monster, and it turns out when he awakes it's like his wife or his girlfriend, you know, but he's in the dream, he's a kid. You keep hearing it. Steven, come home, you know? It starts off with Welcome to My Nightmare. It goes into Devil's Food, Black Widow. I think those are all just creepy aspects, but the storyline revolves around a kid named Steven. That's what I gathered after all the years that I've listened to it. This album echoes into my young life because my mom would always play years ago and Steven on the piano. So I always had those creepy little melodies have always been in my mind, but I didn't really discover the album until I was like 12 or 13, and I listened to it, and it really did scare the hell out of me.
Yeah, it's a very creepy album because I remember it's kind of the same situation. My mom used to like go to the art sales.
Yeah.
And so if she ever found like some records, that she thought I might dig, she'd get them for me. Like a lot of my Kiss collection was I literally got like a whole bunch of Kiss albums. Mm-hmm. And I remember she got me Welcome to My Nightmare. I mean, I'm sure she paid like a nickel for it or something like that. And I remember there's a very creepy element to it.
Yeah,
it's how it's produced is definitely.
It's got that 70s rock sound.
It has that 70s rock sound, almost
that
the action.
I still love. You don't hear rock bands do that sound. You can't. I don't think you can do that sound anymore. It was just the tone of the guitars, the recording, the tape, the studios they use, the production techniques. It's that 70s, just, you know, that 70s rock band sound that is, you can't mess with it. It just always sounds good. So you got that full band happening, and then it's this creepy little tale. But again, it's like it's a solo album, it's a concept album, and I want to say it was released to mixed reviews. I want to say that people were like, okay, what the fuck's up with Uncle Alice and all this stage show shit? We want I'm 18 and, you know, Mr. Nice.
No, wasn't he playing those songs though?
Oh, you'd probably still play the songs on an encore, but when that show came out, I want to say it was the Welcome to My Nightmare show.
You're seeing that.
You're seeing this basically a Broadway production with dancers. I don't know if he was doing the guillotine yet. I think that came out, but I want to say that whole. Actually, he may have been doing that already with the band before, the guillotine and all that, and the hanging and whatnot. But I know Welcome to My Nightmare was a full stage production, and you know there was a big giant toy box where creatures would come out. And you had Vincent Price doing an overdub on Black Widow. I mean, that alone.
How did
when you hear Vincent Price's voice on there doing a monologue?
And back then, in the 70s and the 80s, if Vincent Price was saying something, it was supposed to be creepy.
Yeah, it is the sound of creepy.
Yeah.
I want that guy to narrate my life. Like Morgan Freeman narrates Penguin movies. I would love it if Vincent Price was still alive just to narrate my day-to-day life.
How did the album do?
Like I said, it was released in mixed reviews, but it started. I want to say it made Alice Cooper the person. That's when you go to an Alice Cooper. As far as shows go, before that, I'm sure they were doing what they were doing, and there's great albums there, but when I think of Alice Cooper, I think of the king of shock rock. When you go to a show, it's not just a rock band; it's a whole thing that millions of bands have taken over. He basically ejaculated and the glam rock thing happened in the 80s.
Yeah.
That's how that whole thing started. You want to talk about Wasp and Twisted Sister. Everybody else that was smearing makeup up and Lizzie Borden and all that. Me, anything I've ever done, it was because he had this idea. He was doing this full, scary, creepy show, this horror rock thing, and it was epic. It was great, and he still does it today, and it's fantastic.
Yeah. It's the reason why he still has a career ultimately.
Still has a career. He's still out there. He goes and does his thing. And you love it. You go crazy. It's cheesy. He's still cutting his head off, and I'm still like, yeah.
Well, that's one thing that you can say. It's like, you have your album, and you could listen to that album, and you can listen into your house, and you can listen to it as many times as you want. And there are some bands that you can kind of go see, and like they're going to here's the songs, okay. But the thing about seeing like Alice Cooper live is like that's a show that you can't get in your living room.
No.
You have to go experience that live.
You have to do all of it. And the songs are really good. I mean, even if they're not really connected to whatever a story he's trying to do. Department of Youth. I love that song. That's not shock rock or horror or anything. It's Department of Youth. It's great, What other songs are on there?
Only Women Bleed.
Only Women Bleed, yes. Warms the cockles of my heart.
Yeah, that's
fun. But no, the thing about Only Women Bleed, it's a ballad.
It's a song about.
But it's got one of my favorite guitar, riffs in the middle. I love that guitar, that build up in the middle. It's got this great guitar build up. So
it's actually about domestic violence, right?
I want to say that it's kind of tied into that. Where, you always get the jackass. Oh yeah, no shit, Only Women Bleed.
Yeah.
But no, I think it's really about the struggle of woman that they have to endure when they love someone.
Yeah, maybe that's the reason why the album's called Welcome to My Nightmare. The album is actually about being married.
There's a creepy factor to the album. When you hear him in there singing about Steven going, and I'll put pennies on your eyes.
Yeah.
That scared the shit out of me.
You just saying that scared the hell out of me.
Just the sound of his voice, and you hear him giggle in the back.
And it'll go away.
See? You hear it. Heath Ledger probably stole that for his performance of the Joker. You just hear that just creepy factor, it's great. It's all round and round. It's the birth of
shock rock.
It's the birth of going to a show and actually seeing the show. You're not just looking at a bunch of dudes.
Yeah.
No, there's this thing happening. It takes it to that next level of just like, no, we're going to put on a show for you, and you're never going to forget it.
No, we're not.
And then there's Alice Cooper. Welcome to My Nightmare 2. It's no Unforgiven trilogy, but still, give it a listen.
You have a stake in this. Yeah, give it a listen. I get nothing out of it if you don't do or don't. So yeah.
Oh.
Welcome to My Nightmare 2. Give it a check. Check it out.
Check it out. It's available on iTunes.
Yeah,
isn't that sad? I actually have the CD of Welcome to My Nightmare 2. And a sad, miserable, broken Alice Cooper. But I like having that cassette because that's been around the world with me, man.
I know I'm getting you for Christmas. Hey gang, this is Ray, and I just want to say thank you very much for checking out my video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you want to see more videos, please click on the subscribe button. And if you like what you see, please give it a like. That would mean a lot to me. And if you're wondering why I'm wearing Hawaiian shirts, well, when I'm not talking about records, I'm talking about my other love, Tiki. I have a show called Tiki with Ray. If you want to check that show out, just search Tiki with Ray on YouTube. It'll come up.